And I want to hear more about where you're going with your channel, because there's a big, it's like you're taking is it a hard right or a hard left? I don't know. It's kind of like you're.
Yeah. I'll say left. That seems like the right direction to me.
No, but well, that's an old preconceived notion. What if it's not? Because we've put labels on what we think that means.
We do. It's totally a label. And spirit would not necessarily have directions or time or any of that stuff.
Exactly.
And for my channel, I am enjoying the past life regressions. I'm happy to go in that direction because, again, it's like two people channeling. It's just fascinating. It's fascinating just for the historical references, just to talk about people living in that time in history and just to flesh out the truth of what that was like. I find that fascinating. I still really enjoy teaching people how to channel. And we sort of did a mini version today of how I do that. It would be much more detailed in a full session where you learn to channel. But the big leap for me that was made in the past year was going from channeling to trance channeling. And I have made that shift, and it's just marvelous. And the difference really is, at the beginning, I would see an image and then I would report that. It's like, okay, I'm seeing a pyramid. And then I would say, so I think it means this. But I would be interpreting things. It's going through my brain. But for trance channeling, it really is, the words are coming out of my mouth and I'm almost a bystander. It's like a stage and I'm one of the stage hands. I can stop it if I want, but I don't necessarily understand the words that I'm saying. As I am listening and I'm speaking, I am kind of elevated because the words that are being spoken out of my mouth are really kind of beyond my ability, not an ability to comprehend, but I would not be able to say it in such a succinct state. You know, it's as it's coming out of my mouth, it's like I'm listening to a wiser person. And I'm working on a book, getting some help with a fellow named Ben, where we channel some great leaders. So far, it has been Jesus and Confucius. And when that's happening, it's just coming out of my mouth. And I have to watch the videos to see what I said, because I don't know what it is. And there's no umming and no me thinking through my brain about what that could mean. It's just there. So I'd much more rather do that because I think it's very high level information and it's much more pleasurable and I'm very interested in learning. You know, the irony of this whole situation is my political readings, you know, the hits on those videos sometimes can get really, really high. And it's nice because it, you know, does pay my rent when that happens. Now, videos where you're doing other types of stuff, there aren't that many really famous channelers. There's probably like 3 or 4 really that get big numbers. So it's kind of irony is that when I'm doing this kind of stuff that I think is actually more helpful for individuals for long-term growth, not nearly as many people will watch as those that are watching the political stuff. And that's not a criticism. I just think that people are so stressed. They're like, I need an answer today so I can calm down and get some sleep. You know, I need the answers. And that's why they're tuning in. But it's kind of ironic that those numbers don't necessarily have the same benefit as just the, you know, more spiritual metaphysical work. You know, that's really about not just now, but the trajectory of your whole life. And I have changed my website so that you can either do predicting or you can do channeling. So if people make appointments and they can just say, oh, I want to meet my guides. I'd like to hear directly more about my whole life. I notice a lot of people tend to do that now, much more than in the beginning. In the beginning, it was very much about predictions. So yeah, that's where I'm going.